My name is R.J. Crawford. I am the immediate past chair of the Cumberland County Republican Party and current Crossville City Mayor. And I've had the privilege of emceeing this event for the last 6 years. So glad to be back. I guess I've not messed up too bad for Cameron to bring me back. But again, I got a couple things I have to announce. So please listen, because some of you will commit these and we'll all laugh at you. No, I'm joking. First and foremost, please be careful walking around the tents. These spikes here will trip you. Second, there are yard gnomes all around this property. What I mean by that is there's holes, there's crevices and things. So be careful when you walk. We don't want you getting sniped tonight. Second, if you have not got your swag, we've got a bunch of swag back here. Greer and her team are back here handing out swag. So please get some it's while it's lasting. Also, I've seen some of you try to grab some of the table arrangements, the torches, the lanterns and the flowers. Do not take those. This is a free event, but those are not free. So please do not take those. I am not joking. Third, we have restrooms. We have restrooms in the barn back here. They'll be open during the whole event. We also have a trailer back here. And then let me go to this here. So we have a bunch of people that have stepped up today to make this event happen. Every year this event continues to grow, and we cannot do that without our volunteers. So if you see somebody with a red t-shirt on with a Mount Rushmore logo on the back, please thank them. They're here volunteering to make sure this event goes off well. We also have the strategist, the planner, the one that makes sure that this event is done to the level that it is, and that's Lacey Sexton, Cameron's better half. I know she's somewhere here. She's running around like crazy, but if you see Lacey, tell her thank you. Also, it's a family affair. So I mentioned Greer earlier. We also have Nathaniel and Olivia running around making sure everybody is happy and content. So if you know them, say thank you. And again, thank you to all the volunteers for making this happen. That being said, here we go. I want to thank Lee Houston with Lee's Flowers providing the flower arrangements. Stacy Dykes with Scoops. Make sure you get the ice cream while it lasts. Chelsea Hinch with the lemonade stand right over here. They also have sweet tea and some other cool stuff. We got Charles Hand with TriStar Brewing. If you want to get your wine and beer on, he's right over here. We have Lanson Hill, who's going to be doing the pyro show. There will be fireworks after this, so hang around. Don't run off. We have Mark Elmore, who designed the t-shirts and these lovely polos that you see me wearing. Thank you, Mark. We have David Finley, who's provided the bounce houses, which are, again, backed by the barn. So if you got kiddos here, or if you're young at heart, go back there and jump in the bounce house. And then how about the band? Has Soul Incision not been awesome? Yeah, they've done great. And then obviously this whole place, this compound is Jason Kimmer's. He has wonderful events that he hosts here on his whole property. This is one of them. I'd highly suggest you seek out and try to maybe host an event here. But Jason and his entire team have fed us. They made sure this event is going off without a hitch. They made sure things were mowed. Greatly appreciated. And then we have Tammy Spector, who's also doing face painting back here with the bounce houses. So a lot of people to thank. If you know them, please thank them personally. And if you feel that they bring value, use them as a business. Before we get started, like we do with any meeting, we like to begin it with the prayer followed by the pledge. If I can have Representative Jason Zachary come up and give both of those, then he'll do the introductions.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, good evening. It's so good to be with you guys, as we do at every event, because this is Tennessee. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father God, we love you. Thank you for this incredible night on the plateau, Lord. God, this is just America. This is just Tennessee, Lord. Friends and family, people from all over the state gathered, Lord. God, and we're just thankful for all those that are here. We're thankful for the speaker putting this event on and just bring so many people together from across the state, God. Lord, we just pray for your favor on our state, God. You've been so faithful and so good to us, Lord, and we just pray that that continues, Lord, that the people that are here continue to elect leaders, Lord, to put our state in the position to be the number one state in the nation, Lord, and we're so thankful for it, God. Thankful for the food. Thank you for all those who put so much time in, the speakers team and all the volunteers and people from his community, Lord, who have done so much to bless everyone that's here, Lord. Thank you for the volunteers. Thank you for the hours. Thank you for the food. Thank you for your son, Jesus, Lord. God, we love you, and we're thankful for your goodness and your faithfulness to us, Lord. We pray all these things in your name, and all God's people said, Amen. Amen. If you're able, everybody's standing. We already knocked that out. Flags right here. Let's say the pledge. Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Outstanding. Thank you, guys. You can be seated. Yeah, let's clap for that. I mean, come on. How great is this? Well, I have the honor to introduce Speaker Sexton. You guys obviously know him well. This is his district. But I don't think sometimes I think you probably forget because you see him as Cameron and you see him at the store and you see him around the community, what an impact he has made on the state of Tennessee. When we elected him Speaker in 2019, Tennessee was doing really well. But under his leadership in the House and really the leadership he's provided in the state from Memphis to Mountain City, we have become one of the nation's leaders. He's been an incredible partner with Governor Lee and with Lieutenant Governor McNally. Our state would not be in the position it is in without the leadership of Speaker Sexton. So thank you for sending him to office. It truly makes a difference. Woo! And let's give it up one more time for Speaker Cameron Sexton.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you all. And I'm thankful for the clouds. Thank you. All right. Look, I just want to say it's an honor to represent you. It's an honor to be in the General Assembly. Right now, I will tell you, we have a fourth of the Republican caucus up here, and that's the most conservative Republican General Assembly in the United States of America. Let's give them a round of applause. And I know we just did the pledge, and these members will verify if you go talk to them. We actually have members of the other caucus. When we do the pledge, they leave the chamber. And that's just part of what you're fighting against. But I will tell you, standing up here and hearing everybody here do the pledge was an amazing thing. But I'm thankful that we live in a free country. We live in a free state, and that we're able to worship our God Almighty every single day that you want to. So thank you all for doing that with us. I'm going to introduce some people, and just a few, because if I get too far off, I'm going to miss somebody. I just want to thank our mayor, Alan Foster, for being here, who just won re-election. He's doing a great job for us here in Cumberland County. We also had, he might have left, the longest serving Republican sheriff in the state of Tennessee was here. Jim Barone, he was here earlier. Appreciate his leadership over the years. I remember him sheriff when I was still in college. That's how long he's been sheriff and doing a great job in Blount County. And then, listen, the first person I'm going to mention is a great mentor of mine. And you all heard the story of if I worked on his campaign. He was a great individual. He's led our state with honor, with dignity. He is retiring this year. He didn't run for re-election, so we're losing him. But what we had gained by his service over the 3 decades of service has made our state where we are today. And when we didn't have the Republican majorities, people were there like Randy, where McNally was making sure that they held the line on the financial aspect of our state to make sure that when we did, that you will have the success that we're having today. And so it's my honor to introduce a great friend, a mentor of mine, Lieutenant Governor Randy McNally.
Thank you, Cameron. I greatly appreciate that. And he not only ran my campaign 1 year, but he pulled our wagon out of the ditch. And I really do appreciate him for that. I'll be leaving in January. The governor will be leaving in January. But guess what? Cameron will still be there. And he'll be the, thank you. He'll be the one that keeps our government conservative, keeps it fiscally responsible, keeps everything in order. And I really do look forward and appreciate his leadership. He's been a great mentor to me, a great help to me, and I really do appreciate him. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor. And if you see an SUV going down the interstate, it's him, it's not me. Just letting you know. You might get that, I don't know. I want to introduce, I saw our sheriff who just won re-election. He's here too, Casey Cox. He's right back over there. Welcome, Casey. We also have our Commissioner of Economic and Community Development, Stuart McWhorter, right here. Thank you, Stuart, for coming. The next person that we're going to call up, he's been serving our state for 8 years, and he came in and he felt led to run. And what he has done for our state in 8 years has put us on a path of great success in vocational education and empowering parents, making sure that rural counties are not struggling anymore, making sure that the policies that are done right will propel us. And he's done a lot of great things for our state. He never takes the credit for it, but he does, and he has, and he will. And I'm going to miss him. I'm going to miss his friendship. I'm going to miss his leadership. And we've become good friends, but he's also become a mentor. Because no matter what is going on in our state, the governor has always had a positive outlook, even in the worst of times. And being around someone like that is very uplifting. And he has been uplifting us in the General Assembly through his leadership, through his character, and providing what we need to make our state great. It's my honor to introduce our governor, Bill Lee.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that, Cameron. Hey, Randy, will you come up here just a minute? And Cameron, too. I want the three of us to stand here together because...
Three amigos.
Yeah, that's right. These two men have... We use the word mentor. They have mentored me and led me along. We have encouraged one another. We have had countless nights and lunches and late night phone calls, and we have navigated some of the most difficult waters that could be navigated. And I could never have done what I've had the honor to do without Cameron Sexton and Randy McNally. I will miss these men and the privilege that I've had to walk alongside them and lead this state together, the executive branch and legislative branch. What an honor. And I'm grateful for both of you, and I wanted the three of us to stand up here together and say you have made it possible for us to live out a dream of mine, to use my life to serve the people and the state that I love dearly. And it's been the highest honor that I've had to serve. So thank you. Thank you both for doing that. I want to say just a couple more things. I came up here with Deputy Governor McWhorter, Stuart McWhorter. We traveled here together. And I was mindful because we've known each other 25 years. And it was thoughtful time to think about when we first decided to do this and how we went through transition and what decisions were made and how little I knew about what I was about to get into, but how excited I was to be able to serve. And, there was a moment in my life one day, 26 years ago, where I walked out of a cemetery and God impressed on my heart that there are very few things in life that really matter. I'd had an event that level set everything in my life. And I walked out of that cemetery not knowing exactly what direction I was going to take, but I knew that he would give me that direction. And what I have tried to do with my life is remember that. There are very few things that matter, and we should be about them. And, I stand here looking at the General Assembly members who have become my friends and who we've worked together to do what we think was in behalf of the well-being of the people of our state. I'm proud of them. I'm grateful that they, too, are men and women who understand that there are some things that really matter, and it does matter who steps into and leads and gives up a part of their life to serve the people of their district and of their state. And I'll say that about this audience, too, because you wouldn't be here if you didn't care about Tennessee. You wouldn't be here if you didn't care about America. And I am deeply grateful and have been inspired by the people of this state who care about my great-grandchildren's future. And because of your willingness to support members and support us and lean into the things that matter and stop and remind yourself, there are very few things that matter, and I'm going to be about them. And governance is one of the things that matters, because there's 7 million people out there who aren't leaned in, but whose lives are profoundly affected by what we do. And I want to say thank you to this crowd. You represent people in our state who care about Tennessee being the best place in the country. And we are the best state in the country. America has figured that out. And, there's probably a whole lot of people here. I've met just a few of them tonight who aren't born and raised in Tennessee. America's figured out this is the best place in the world to live, and they're coming in droves. We just need them to think correctly when they get here and continue to do that. But Maria and I it's been the highest honor of our life to serve in this spot. I am deeply grateful for the opportunity to do it. I am glad that I did it and glad that it's about to be over. But you know what? You can be confident that this will continue and that our state will continue to become an even better and better and better state than it has in the past, because of the leadership of men like Randy McNally and the future leadership of a great leader and a great friend and a guy that I will long be grateful for what he's done for Tennessee. And thank you for supporting him, Cameron Sexton. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. Hey, if you're a first-time Tennessean and you're here tonight, can you make some noise for us for the governor? There we go. Let's do a proper send-off, because hopefully it's not the last time the governor's in Cumberland County, but you never know. Unless you want to come to a special session. No, I'm kidding. Everybody up there is getting mad at me. But can we give the governor a great Cumberland County thank you for the job well done? All right, thank you. This next person, if you live closer to Nashville, or you might get it on a nice sunny day, you might pick up 99.7, or you might listen to it online. And I would ask you all to listen to it online, because they do live stream. You would hear this great conservative radio host named Matt Murphy. Now, I will say, yeah, Matt. Well, Johnny's running for re-election, running for Congress, so he's obviously clapping first, because he wants to be nice to Matt. We all want to be nice to Matt. But I'll just say, look, I had the privilege of one time, Matt, don't hold it against him. He grew up in Georgia. It's good. Then he went to Alabama to live for a while. And then he came to Tennessee. Right? Just one extra stop. But he got here. But I had the privilege one time, we went down to, the speaker in Georgia invited us down to the Tennessee-Georgia game. Wasn't too great if you're a Tennessee, but it was fun if you were a Georgia fan, and Matt had a great time. But it was great to be able to interact with him, and I think he might tell you, he was surprised about my comments during a football game, maybe. A little bit more passion right there, too, for Tennessee. But let me just tell you, he is a great individual. The nice thing about Matt, he is a conservative. But regardless of where you are, he will always try to challenge you if he thinks you need to be challenged on what you're thinking, believing, or to know. Because he wants to represent the audience, and he wants the audience to have the capability to understand why you believe it and what you believe. And then he wants to ask those deep questions to make sure that he understands what that is. And so I always enjoy going on his show. It's always fun. I sat in the studio for a while, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and we just sat back and chat. But if you haven't listened to him, I suggest get on the website, WTN99.7.com, something like that, and give him a shout and listen 3 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Is that right? 3 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. My honor to introduce a great American conservative radio show host, Matt Murphy.
Thank you, Cameron. Before I forget, the sheriff that Cameron mentioned that was sheriff when he was a teenager, if he's still around, can I talk to you? Because I bet he's got some stories about Cameron as a teenager. Be pretty good. Hey, listen, it is an honor to be here tonight. It's an honor to be invited by Cameron, and it's an honor to be able to talk to you. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time up here because I know there are many, many more important people that you want to hear from that are going to speak after me. But as Cameron mentioned, I grew up in Georgia, and I thought Georgia was a pretty conservative place. And then I moved to Alabama, and I thought Alabama was a pretty good state. And in 2021, I had the honor of being asked if I wanted a job in Tennessee. And since 2021, it has been my honor to call Tennessee home. And listen, we just went through a rough and tumble primary. And when I was talking with some folks, and I was like, well, what do you guys want me to talk about? I mean, I'm a talk show host, and if you live west of Crossville, you might know who I am. If you live east of Crossville, you probably never heard of me, and I hope y'all look me up. But if you've listened to my show, you'll understand the humor in this comment because I was told that my role was to talk about unity tonight. I'm like, unity? Oh, that's not what I do well. But here's what I'll say about that. Primaries are tough. Primaries are like, I liken them to a big family reunion. And if you've got a big family, you've probably been in a family reunion where Uncle Joe Bob and Aunt Ethel got in a big old argument about something or another, and both people thought that they were right, and they got all mad at each other and wouldn't talk until the next family reunion. Well, sometimes that can happen in a political primary because people have different priorities. People want to put this issue over that issue, and when we pick a horse in a race, we want a horse to win. And that's natural. That's human nature. And there's nothing wrong with that. But just like the family reunion, at some point, we got to sit down and we got to eat together. Because I promise you this, there are people outside the gate. They're not family. And they don't believe in the America and they don't believe in the Tennessee that we do. They want to fundamentally change, and it's been coming for a while. They want to fundamentally change the way that we do things. And I'm here to tell you, Tennessee's ahead of the curve, but we're not immune. And so we have to have the right people in place. We have to have people like Cameron Sexton, people like Randy McNally, people like Governor Lee, that are there at the gate making sure that they don't get in. And when they do get in, they got the right mindset. You know, one of the things I'll say, Congressman John Rose, he used a line in one of his political ads, and I thought it was pretty good. And I'm not picking sides or anything, but I just thought it was pretty good. When you come to Tennessee, become Tennessee. That's all we ask of you. And I learned that, and I think that the folks coming here, most of them are running from something. They're not running to something. I'll say this. About 250 years ago, and I want us to think about this, about 250 years ago, outside of Liberty Hall, as the story goes, and most of y'all probably read about this in grade school when they still taught such things. Old Benjamin Franklin walked out of Liberty Hall as we were debating the Declaration of Independence and as we were putting all that to paper. And as the story goes, little old lady asked Benjamin Franklin what type of government it shall be. And what did Benjamin Franklin say? A republic.
If you can keep it.
If you can keep it. Well, we've kept it for 250 years. We've done pretty good for 250 years, haven't we, everybody? And happy birthday to the United States of America. But let me tell you, this family reunion, the wolves are at the gate. And they're not in Tennessee yet, but they're in California. And they're in New York. And they're in Chicago and Seattle. And I'm sad to say they're in Georgia, my home state. I'm so sad to tell you that Georgia has turned purple. Why is that? Well, there's a lot of reasons for it, and I won't go into it now, but I'll say this. We have to keep it. We have to strive every day to talk to our fellow Tennesseans about things that matter and encourage them to get involved with the things that matter. One of the shames of our election cycle this primary was the number of people that went out to vote. And I love every single one of you because I know every single one of you went out to vote. But I encourage you to tell a friend and a friend and a friend and a friend that come November, we all have to push back against the enemies at the gate. And I'll finish by saying this. I'm naturally I'm a natural-born pessimist, and I try not to be, but I am. I'm a natural-born pessimist. And if you ever watch cartoons when you were a kid, and I kind of watch them now because I'm kind of still a kid, you watch cartoons, and you remember when you'd watch Tom and Jerry, you watch Sylvester the cat, you know, sometimes the little angel would pop up on one of their shoulders and tell them to eat the Tweety bird. Or the devil would tell them to eat the Tweety bird, and the angel would pop up on the other shoulder and say, don't eat the Tweety bird, that's a bad thing. I fight those angels and those devils every single day because I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring for the United States of America. But I'm reminded by one of the great mentors in my industry, the late, great Rush Limbaugh. And y'all all remember Rush and what a champion he was for conservatism. And Rush Limbaugh would say, and I'll paraphrase him, that I don't have necessarily faith in the government, but I sure do have faith in the people of the United States of America. And I still maintain that faith based on the people that you and I request that they serve us, whether it be in the General Assembly, the Congress of the United States of America, as governor of the state of Tennessee, or on to Washington, D.C. Let's continue to send the right people to fight the good fight. And let's continue to remember that we might squabble amongst ourselves, but when the time comes, we rally at the gate. It's a republic. Let's keep it. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Matt. And that reminds me, my parents are here, and I even get this at home still today, but if I get in trouble, you know, when you get in trouble by people, they usually use a name, right? And so usually what I would do, you would hear, Cameron Allen, and I'm like, well, what did I do? What did I do? Right, so Matt, unless you hear Cameron Allen, I'm not in trouble, so I'm good, right? Nobody here is going to say Cameron Allen, I don't think. But anyway, look, our next speaker is a great individual. I've served with him in the General Assembly for numerous years. He's a great conservative. He's a fighter. He's a thought leader. He understands how to represent his constituents. He wants to serve them, not serve himself, which is a great for an elected official. And he just came through a tough Republican congressional campaign. But I want to introduce, and I'm guaranteeing this right here on this stage right now, because I know the other person who's running against him. I don't know about that one. Let me just say, our next Republican congressman in the 6th Congressional District, Mr. Johnny Garrett.
Appreciate you. Well, Governor, I don't know if he's still here or not. He's over there to my left. I don't know when the governor was running that he could bring a crowd like the Speaker of the House can. So you deserve a speaker like Speaker has been since I was elected to the State House 8 years ago. He is a machine. You really are. You really should be proud of Speaker Sexton and what he does for our General Assembly, how he does it, and how he has helped Governor Lee, Lieutenant Governor McNally make Tennessee the conservative state that it is. But here's what we're dealing with. Here's what we're going to continue to deal with. For my members that are over here in the House, and I don't know if do you have any of the Senate here, Cameron? I haven't seen many of the lower chamber here or not, but most of the upper chamber is here tonight, and I'm glad to see that. But here's what we're facing. When we decided to call a special session to get rid of the woke Steve Cohen in Memphis to give President Trump 9 Republicans heading to Congress from the state of Tennessee, here's what we're dealing with. The Democratic Socialists of America. That's what's taken over this country. My friends, we have them here. My friends, we have them serving in the General Assembly. My friends, we have them here that want to take out what we get to enjoy tonight. Standing up, pledging to our flag. When we gavelled into special session, Representative Lafferty from Knoxville, he's over there somewhere, was praying. We usually do a pastor of the day to open up session every single day. I happen to be off to the side of the well where this is taking place, and you all may know the largest Democratic Socialist of America in the state of Tennessee is the state rep, Justin Jones. Have you ever heard of that guy? That's right. So he was standing. That actually came from the General Assembly. That wasn't from the crowd, the boos, because they know exactly who I'm talking about. When Justin Lafferty was praying, Justin Jones happened to be away from his desk standing during the pledge, would not salute his heart. Do you know what he was doing with his hand at that time? He was flicking off the flag. Literally, that's what we have that wants to destroy America. These Democrats, these socialists, these communists do not believe what we believe in, what we stand for and fight every single day. Here in the state, we're lucky that the decades since the Republicans took over in 2010, 2012, we've been passing. You have been passing, and I've been a part of that, the Tennessee First agenda. You are living it. We are seeing it. You should be proud of it, and you will be. But you know who's fighting it in D.C.? Do you know who does it every single day, who is not fearful of the Democratic Socialists of America, who, by the way, wants no prisons, wants no police, wants no borders, wants to get rid of the U.S. Senate. I don't know who the lieutenant governor is. That might not be a bad idea here in the state. I don't know. But that's what they want. They want to rip up, tear up, spit on your United States Constitution. And President Trump is not going to let it happen. I said throughout this campaign, throughout this hard-fought primary, that we need a lot of Tennessee in D.C. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what I promised you. That's what we're going to do. That's how hard I'm going to fight for the 6th District to make sure that you recognize Tennessee and you bring a lot of Tennessee to D.C. How are we going to do it? How's it going to happen? Here's what it is. Matt mentioned it. Low voter turnout. If people are happy, if people are liking what they see, Zachary, what are they going to do? They're not going to get up. They're not going to go vote because they got an R behind their name. Tennessee's red. The Democrats are going to capitalize on us. We have to show up in November. There's 6 million people that vote in the state of Tennessee. I want 5,999,000 to be conservative Republicans. And that falls right here on you. It falls on me. It falls on our speaker. It falls on all of us to get excited for what our country can look like 250 years from now. But it begins now. He mentioned, or someone mentioned, their great-grandchildren, I think the governor did, of what this country is going to look like. Could you imagine if the Democratic Socialists of America won 3 or more seats, 3 or more states, had the Senate, made D.C. a state, made Puerto Rico a state? All of a sudden, we have 65 socialist Democratic senators in the Senate, and we may never re-elect Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House. They will turn America against us. Our voice, our power is at the ballot box in November. You must turn out. You must go seek anyone and everyone that you want to recognize Tennessee like Tennessee is today. The power lands in your vote. And I've got every confidence that every single one of you are going to talk to everyone that you know to make sure Tennessee stays Tennessee. How does that sound? How are we going to do it? It's going to start with you all. It's going to start with all of us. So I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate your vote. I appreciate your confidence in sending a little Tennessee to D.C. But I can tell you this, the work just now begins. Let's do this together. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Congressman. There you go. Hey, before I say a few words, just a couple of reminders. We did this last year and we're doing it this year. All the flowers on the table we take to nursing homes and assisted livings tomorrow and allow them to have a little bit of quality in those rooms. And I can tell you, when we did it last year, we took some students with us, and the interaction was a beautiful thing. And just a little flower in a vase brings so much happiness to those individuals. So please allow us to keep as many of these things as we can so we can bring happiness to those individuals who are in those places. The second thing is I want to, as we're looking out here tonight, I appreciate every one of you here. And look, you allow me to represent you as your representative. And by you doing that allows these individuals to believe in me and trust in me to allow me to serve as their speaker. And so it's really you that allow me to have that opportunity. So thank you for allowing that to happen. And if I don't say it, I do need your vote come November, just letting you know. If you can put it in the bank early, I would appreciate that too. But look, let me just tell you, let me close all this up here. We've had a great governor in Bill Lee, a great lieutenant governor in Randy McNally who've provided the leadership that we need, great members of the General Assembly. And yes, the Senate has done a great job as well. We kid with them. It's, like a brotherly love type of thing. But let me just say, as you're looking at where we want to lead our state, and if you drive around town, there's billboards that you see up. I've changed them. And if you see Chip Saltzman here, he's wearing a hat. Please let him know how often you see him and you love him, because he hates them and I love him. And so just make sure you point out to him that you like the billboards. But it says, the American dream lives in Tennessee. It does. Because what Tennessee has allowed you to do is giving you the freedom to have the opportunity to make something to become successful. Your limitations here in Tennessee is very few. If you have the ability and the desire and the work ethic, you will be successful. And so that's what the American dream is. Our job is to improve education in the state. Our schools, regardless of what the left wants to say, we're in the top 20 school systems in America. Tennessee is. We have focus on workforce development. We focus on lowest taxes. We're the lowest tax state, the lowest debt state. We're the most financially sound state. And we're the third most affordable state in America. And then campaigns, we all know how campaigns work. The left is going to try to make up some stuff to say, hey, cost of living's high, you need to elect us because we'll lower the cost of living, right? You've heard that, right? Well, 12 of the top 15 states for the highest cost of living, the highest taxes, the highest regulation, the highest gas prices are what? Blue states. The rhetoric does not match the results. And so as a state, as Tennessee, we have done everything we can to make it to where your life is affordable, that you have the most freedom, the best ability to find the American dream that's right for you. And that's what we really want to do every single day. And we go vote because I played sports. I played basketball, and I use this analogy sometimes. When you play sports, right, Greer plays sports, at some point, if you're up by a lot, what do? You pull back, you put in your subs, you put in the third team, you put in the fourth team, you try not to shoot as much, right? You try to not beat them by 100 in a sixth grade basketball game, right? Try not to, right? Right? But that's not politics, people. In politics, there is no pulling back. If you pull back, you give them hope. You give socialists hope that they may be able to take an inch to get a mile. Our job on election day is to make sure that every single person you know goes vote. And more importantly, make sure the people at your church go vote. Because only 40% of the people you go to church with, guess what? Vote. So it's important that we get our votes in, our votes early, and that we run up the score. The best way to not have Tennessee to become purple or to even have the little bit of socialism to come into our state is to beat the liberals so bad that they never want to run again. That's why politics is not sports. And I'll close on this. Y'all saw that article here recently where they said Tennessee is the worst city to live, worst state to live in. Is that right, members? Is that what it said? The worst state to live in? And it was CNBC, you know, that great conservative news organization that they are. I think it was a misprint of the headline. I think they left one word out of that description. Tennessee is the worst state for liberals to live in. Because liberals don't like freedom. They don't like opportunity. They don't like success. They don't like the American dream. Because they want to keep you down so that they stay in power. If you believe in the American dream, let's get out, let's go vote, let's make sure that we turn this election around and make sure that we win every seat, county commission, city council, mayor, all the way up to state rep, state senate, Congress, governor. If we're winning by 80 points, if you see a poll that shows our governor nominee, Marsha Blackburn, up by 45 points, go vote anyway. Go vote. And so, let me say, it's an honor to represent you all. I do not take that lightly. It is a privilege to be able to do that. And I will say, if you want to stay till 8:15, there's going to be a fireworks show right here. And I apologize to all the neighbors. They will be mad. Because it's pyro shows. And if you ever go to Knoxville anywhere, that's the company that does that. So if you want to stay till 8:15, we'd love to have you for the fireworks. It's going to be a great show. Let's give it up one time for Soul Incision. They're back here somewhere. By the way, the funny thing is that some of them are doctors. You get it incision, you know, doctors. It's pretty good. I liked it. But anyway, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for taking a few hours of your day to come out to support us. We wanted to repay it back to make sure that we told you how fortunate we are to live in a community like this. Thank you all very much, and God bless.